Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be going over old school Polish weightlifting, somewhere between the 1960s, 1970s. I posted this before it blew up on Instagram, so this is pretty much this new series that I'm doing on YouTube. Is I'll take the clips that I post on Instagram that do well and people like to see that. I will do long form content here on YouTube where I can go a little bit more in depth and give a little bit more of my insight and knowledge that I can do a little bit longer within a 10 to 15-minute time frame that you're not going to get with a 60 to 90-second reel on Instagram. So right now, let's get right into it. There's not much else to say. So let me just change my screen and press play. So something that you will notice with a lot of these guys in the video is that their technique is damn near flawless. They do a
W
very
tym
good job
ćwiczeniu
of
ważna jest
mastering the
faza
basic
poderwania
movements,
i
the
szybkiego zejścia
clean,
do
the
pełnego
jerk, the
siadu.
squat, the good morning,
Można je wykonać
stuff that
bez
is
wisu
still done a lot in strength conditioning programs today,
lub korzystać
but
z
these
pomocy
guys had it
klocków.
down where it just looks perfect. And even some people are saying the weights are fake or they're AI. But no, this is all 100% legit. Polish weightlifting was very well known and still is to this day. I know China gets a lot of the hype these days. We're catching up slowly, and Russia has a crazy lifter as well. I forget his name. Forgive me for not knowing that. But pretty much watching this video kind of just makes it seem like it's very simple stuff,
Tadeusz
but
Rutkowski,
this is what
brązowy
translates a
medalista
lot
olimpijski,
to on-field
najsilniejszy polski
performance if you
ciężarowcy,
are an average
wykonuje zawód
athlete
na
or below
dłuższej
average
zerki wisu
athlete.
z
Like
pełnym
you can
rozsiadem.
get away with not doing stuff like this if you're already a freak of nature. LeBron James is probably a perfect example
To
of that.
już pełny
But
podrzut, ale
if you're not
szczególnie
LeBron
w
James,
postaci
this is the
dodatkowych
type of training you
przysiadów.
need to have year round and to be able to keep that technique solid no matter what the weight is. Like a clean right into some front squats. And then he throws it up over his head into a split jerk. It's pretty wild to
Mistrz
watch.
olimpijski Zygmunt Smalcerz demonstruje zarzut sztangi na piersi.
I don't know a damn thing they're saying though. Yep. So this is a push jerk. You see, this is not a strict military press, as you can see that they're getting into their knees and hips a little bit before they press up. Really good to teach triple extension, and that is a very underrated upper body exercise that kind of syncs it up for vertical jump as well. Just pure power. I need some sun though. They are pasty.
Jan Lisowski, rekordzista Polski, demonstruje kilka ćwiczeń pomocniczych doskonalących drugą
Behind the neck
kolejno
press
wybicie góry z
into
zakresu
that split
na
jerk.
nożyce i na unik oraz wycisko podrzut.
Really solid technique all around. And then this is just straight up, no split, just straight behind the neck push press. It looks like it's 315. I can't tell with the bumper plates or how they used to weigh it, but I see 3 plates, I see 315, I see 2 plates, I see 215. Honestly couldn't tell you. Now here, this is a little bit more impressive because he's not using his legs nearly as much as the other guy was. This is all upper body. A little bit of leg drive, but not as much as what the other guy was doing.
Przysiady ze sztangą trzymaną na piersi są doskonałym ćwiczeniem
I mean,
pomocniczym
4-plate front
przygotowanym
squat,
do
that's pretty
pierwszej
legit.
fazy.
Again, I can't tell if these weights are 45, 55. They are bumpers, so I have no idea, but I'm going to say those are 45s. They do look like them.
Przysiady ze
So if that's
sztangą trzymaną
45,
na
this is
karku,
495 right
jeden z
here.
bojów pięcioboju ciężarowego, to najprostsze i najskuteczniejsze ćwiczenie w treningu siły nóg. Rekord Rutkowskiego w tym ćwiczeniu
Smooth.
wynosi 270 kg.
Really solid squat. Now, this is something that I think is really ahead of its time.
Prowadnicy
Is this is like a
wystawiać można
Smith
kilku ćwiczeń dla
machine
obydwu
contraption that they have
partycypantów.
set up where the bar is on a fixed
To
track and you just go up and
sprawdzanie
down.
krytycznego punktu.
This is missing in a lot of training programs, and my favorite variation of doing this is with a Kaizen machine, where you can see your peak power and how much force you're producing because you don't have to worry about more so the stability components of it because it's on that fixed track.
Przysiady nożycowe ze zmianą
So you see, it's all basic
są
stuff. I mean, none
znakomitym
of this stuff is
przygotowaniem do
crazy.
podrzutu.
None of it is out of the ordinary. That's legit right there. Front rack lunge, a little bit of a split squat action. Great control. A little bit of high pulls from the floor.
Odciąganie i
These smoke your upper traps, and this
obtwarzanie
teaches you to
mięśni
just generate a lot of
mięśni
force from the
grzbietu,
bottom.
a
For
przy
traditional Olympic lifting,
koncentrycznej,
obviously you catch that in
ekscentrycznej
a
i
clean position
izometrycznej.
overhead. This is what
Zastosowane
I really want to
ciężary
highlight is this is
przewyższają
an
rekord światowy
overloaded
w podrzucie.
eccentric deadlift. So what is essentially happening is this weight is higher than your 1 rep max, and you have buddies there to help you lift it up. You will be stronger eccentrically than you would be concentrically, so on the stand up. So this assisted negative, it builds insane amount of strength, and he's pausing with it too, right below the knee. I'm assuming this might be where he has lockout issues or a weak point.
Zestaw
If you
ćwiczeń
have two buddies
uzupełniających
that can
do
lift the
rwania
either
i
side of the
zakresu
weight and
siły.
you can do control
W
eccentrics
ćwiczeniach
like
tych
that,
można wykonywać liczną
absolutely
ilość
insane.
powtórzeń
And then this
na
one is kind of
ćwiczeniach
like
pomocniczych i
the video
przygotowawczych.
before this one. That was using
W
that Smith
celu
machine again.
wzmocnienia
Just
mięśni
fixed
obręczy
track,
barkowej i
getting the hips
prostowników
into it a little bit
ramion
more.
należy ćwiczyć wyciskanie,
Seated behind the neck shoulder press, and these are
odważniejszy,
legit. I love
prostały i
these. The
wypróbowany sprzęt
reciprocal
treningowy.
pushing, and then you're kind of pulling it down as well. Really good
Dodatkę
for shoulder
ciężarem
mobility. And these are
oznacza ten
just
ćwiczeń
high
mający
kettlebell
na celu
swings,
wypracowanie tzw. siły szybkiej mięśni grzbietu.
barbell squat
Podobnie
jumps.
działanie na
I personally don't like the
to
barbell for
wyskok
these. I
ze
like the trap
sztangą,
bar a little bit
a
better
na
just because
obydwu
that
bokach
loading of the
mięśniowe
spine doesn't really
szybkie
feel great for a
skłony.
lot of people. But talking
Bardzo
about the
ważną
spine,
rolę w
these guys
treningu ciężarówka
trained the crap out of
spełniają
it. These
różne
back
ćwiczenia
extensions are legit.
wyrabiające
You're going to get a
siłę
lot of low
mięśni
back
grzbietu.
activation here, as
Oto
well
kilka
as the
przykładów
hamstrings
ćwiczeń
and
na
the
prostych
glutes. And then
przyrządach.
this is just a good morning
Konstrukcja ich należy w
where it's
dużej
kind of
mierze
fallen out
od
of love
pomysłowości
for a lot of
trenera.
people just because it may seem a little bit dangerous. But anything's dangerous if you don't train it. These guys trained the crap out of their back, out of their posterior chain, hips, the hamstrings. And this is my favorite part of the
Masterclass,
video. It's just a bunch
przyrząd
of guys being
wieloczynnościowy,
dudes, ripping
stwarza
machine
możliwość
circuits,
zastosowania
abs,
jednocześnie
dips, pull
dużego
ups,
zestawu ćwiczeń
hamstrings, lat pull
uzupełniających.
down.
Na tym przyrządzie można
Literally just
doskonale
guys being dudes.
sprawność
This is a
wszystkich mięśni,
an
a
accessory
szczególnie tych, które uważamy
circuit,
za
I'm
najbardziej
assuming, at the end
zaniedbane.
of their skill work and their technique work. This is where they just catch a pump and they work on those muscles that do aid in the lifting, the quad extension right there, but and forearm grip strength too. Look at that. So these are just training all the muscles individually. I'm assuming circuit style, do a little bit of bodybuilding hypertrophy work, just building up the soft tissue areas around where you're going to be lifting. So
Po
for a squat or for a
intensywnym,
deadlift, you
wyczerpującym
want to make sure
treningu
you're not weak in any
konieczne są
areas. You don't want
ćwiczenia
any
rozciągające
holes
i
or energy
rozluźniające.
leaks while you
Jedne
train.
można
So
wykonać
it's
z
important
pomocą
to do a little bit of
współćwiczącego,
bodybuilding
inne
exercises
samemu.
as well.
Głównym celem tych ćwiczeń jest rozciąganie wiązadeł kręgosłupa i odciążenie dysków międzykręgowych.
So there you have it. There's a little bit of old school Polish weightlifting for you. A little bit of a deeper dive into how I can explain things. Just to wrap it up, I want to make sure you guys understand that the basics will never go away. There's nothing new. If those are the 1960s, that was 65 years ago. And as you can see, all those exercises still hold true today. Yes, there's some modifications that I would make, like the barbell back squat jump. I would sub that out for maybe a dumbbell jump or a trap bar jump just to save the back a little bit, especially if you're using it for sports performance. But these guys, their whole thing was to be the best they can be in Olympic weightlifting. And as you can see, their lifts are amazing. Their form is phenomenal. And it's just the technique that matters the most when you're building block up. As I said before, if you're a below average or an average athlete, you need to be in the weight room. You need to be training. You need to make sure you're doing the things that can help level the playing field a little bit to the guys that are just a little bit more genetically advanced than you are. It's just the name of the game. All right. There's going to be people that just are born faster than you, that could jump higher than you, that can play the sport better. It is what it is. There's no sugarcoating it. So that's why the strength and conditioning industry is the thing. All right. It's to help you guys that don't have that elite level genetic ability to actually catch up and to have a shot to play at the D3, D2, or hopefully D1 level, and then even the pros. So just because your favorite athlete doesn't train like these guys doesn't mean that you shouldn't. You are not an elite level athlete. I'm assuming. All right. If you were, you probably wouldn't be watching strength and conditioning videos, to be completely honest. So take what you saw here, try to see if you can apply a little bit of from these guys into your training. The main thing I would say is record your lifts, record your exercises, and then maybe compare and contrast how your technique looks to these guys, because they are a great example of form over weight, making sure the technique is solid, and they're going to minimize injury risk and just help overall increase force production as well. If this helped, please give it a like, subscribe, comment. If you want to see anything in particular, please comment below or message me on Instagram. I'm always there checking DMs and making sure I can respond back as fast as I possibly can. I love making these videos. I love showcasing stuff that I learned to give a little bit more of my insight into what is, I think, beneficial. And the old school stuff just has no BS or no fluff to it. All right. It's just hardcore strength and conditioning training, cuts through all the BS that you might see on social media. This is the stuff that works. This is the stuff that I love to see. And this is the stuff I love to talk about. All right. Until next time, Hitman out.